Before we begin, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I have the right levels. Can you tell me on tape your name and your title, please?
I have a title.
What's your name?
Well, my name is Kriz Partridge, and I guess you could say I'm the queen bee behind Bee Against Monsanto.
Okay. And actually, one thing I'm hearing is that this, when this taps these springs,
Okay.
kind of make sounds. So.
All right, I'll try to keep my hands in my pocket here.
All right. So, Kriz, tell us what is the official Pollinator Week and who are some of the sponsors?
Well, official Pollinator Week was put on by the Pollinator Partnership, and it runs from June 16th through June 22nd, and it's more or less, an awareness-raising campaign about the importance of our pollinators and, what can be done to help them out. The funny thing is that this Pollinator Partnership, the partnership itself consists of the big agricultural businesses and chemical companies that, produce these pollinator-killing pesticides and in the practices like that. So we've actually, yesterday, we put out a call to all our supporters to give them a ring and ask them what Monsanto and Bayer Crop Sciences are doing there and what CropLife is doing on their partnership, because that's pretty much all the big agricultural companies. There's Bass, Dow, DuPont, Bayer, Monsanto, Syngenta. It's really just seems to be another PR stunt to greenwash, or what's being termed as bee wash, their companies for the negative practices and products that they produce.
And you're intending to do some alternatives to that. What kinds of things might people expect next week?
Well, goodness, next week we're going to put out a lot of information as far as bee-friendly gardening practices, like what kind of alternatives to pesticides people can be using and what type of plants they may like to plant. And we're going to be inviting them out to essentially what we're calling a global swarm to save the bees that will be having actions in August around National Honeybee Day.
National Honeybee Day. Why are honeybees so important?
Well, the honeybee, they're our most prolific pollinator, and they pollinate upwards of a third of all the food that we eat. So, and they're super affected recently. Many of us are aware of colony collapse disorder. What you might not be aware of is that in the last 10 years, 40% of honeybee hives have collapsed in the United States. So it's a big threat, and even if the plants aren't directly, if they don't have to have the honeybees pollinate, they still result in, like, if you don't have the honeybees, you may not get as large of a yield when it comes to your crop and things like that. So they're super important, and we're out to save the bees this year.
Looking forward to that August event, the National Honeybee Day. What will happen then in Tampa?
Well, in Tampa, since we're kind of the home of the hive, and it's cool that we actually have an international event going on in Tampa here locally. We plan on taking some direct actions. You may see us in some of the local stores spreading awareness. We're going to be doing a number of actions, whether it be we're going to have a march. We'll likely have an educational day with some local beekeepers coming out to the Stain Marketplace. And actually, this Saturday, we're planning a public display with the local Tampa Light Brigade to put out a Save the Bees message and raise some awareness now and start to stir things up.
Where can people go to find more information?
If you guys would like to find more information, you can check out our website, which right now links to our Facebook page. It's beagainstmonsanto.com.
All right, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
So you're talking about tomorrow is the Light Brigade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I might try to air this today then.
Saturday, yeah, the Light Brigade's tomorrow. It's we're gonna do it it's Curtis Hickson. We may be illuminating, as they say, from Kylie Gardens, because apparently tomorrow there's
It's
Bollywood.
the Bollywood re-showing, whatever. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to do the Light Brigade, and then around 8:30, whenever it starts to get dark, we have these bees that are made out of pool noodles.
Yeah, we put a flashlight in them.
You can put a flashlight in them and they light up. And basically we're going to make a bunch of those, and just kind of go through, hand out flyers, have the bees. People are gonna pay attention to it. You can hand out the bees to people too, because they're really cheap to make.
Yeah.
And just raise some awareness. That's pretty much our first event,
Something
kicking
to
off
get
Pollinator Week.
other people involved, you know, some fun for the kids.
Do you wanna talk, tack that on to the end there, just saying what people might see tomorrow, or is that?
Nah,
You
I don't think
really-
I think the light brigade, we're pitching as a light brigade, and then the bee thing is kind of gonna be a surprise for people.
Right.
But